Hey man, how's your movie going?
Not supposed to see me before I played that. So let's play that again. That's so good.
Hey man, how's your movie going?
Welcome back to Hey Man, how's your movie going? I'm Chuck Ferverton, your host. And today we got a really wild panel. Today we've got three people who are deeply involved with the fungus. And some of them have even seen sneak previews of it. In fact, let me go as far to say as all of them have seen sneak previews of the full fungus. If you're watching this for the first time, my name is Jim Lujan. If you're watching this for the 10th time, my name is Jim Lujan. We're going to bring them on one by one. First, let's bring Mr. Silly Pants.
Oh.
Christopher Corbin. Christopher Runciman. Christopher Runciman does his own daily stream of art creation and discussion every day, just about. And it's worth checking out. Very, very talented artist and a voice talent in the full fungus. Next, we have the lovely, esteemed Gary Hodges.
Lovely.
Creator of Dinosaurs versus Mars Bots, a wonderful children's cartoon comic thing. And it's available at many other places, but we'll be telling you more where to get that later. Okay. And then finally, but not least, the man of the hour, Paul Pate, or Pate, as they say in Europe. Paul Pate, creator of Detective Perez and other fine gems, including animated films. Yes, we have another animator in there. And these are what I like to call my friends. Chris didn't see that. Oh, he did see it. He's sad now. But yes, there's a very strategic reason I have the three of these amigos on today. This is the live stream of the creation of my feature-length film, The Full Fungus. And each of these people I use and degrade constantly to get advice, opinions, reactions from the sneak previews. Because when you're creating a film like this, you are in a silo. And what fits better in a silo than corn? And these guys are the corniest guys. Anyways, so with that being said, let's go to pay tribute to Deacon Burns. Let's go counterclockwise.
Whoa.
Nice.
Paul Pate. Paul, let's start by saying that what the full fungus is, and then I wanted to get you had an opinion you wanted to give me before or after we show the clip.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, Full Fungus is a story of there's a detective named Chino Diamond that's hired to find this missing guy who's the son of this jazz legend that passed away in the 70s. And this jazz legend has a piece of music that is fabled in the jazz community, the Holy Grail, if you will, called the Full Fungus. It's a suite of music, but a lot of people don't believe it exists. But you know what? The mob believes it exists. And not only that, they know that the son has it, so they're after him. And that is our dilemma. Right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Good night, everybody. So we're gonna go with Paul.
It's like an Oliver Stone flick right here.
Yeah, I know. One of the challenges has been to
keep an Oliver Stone out of it.
Bring keep the funny going in it. That's why I have Chris and Gary both doing voices in it, and hopefully maybe Paul as well.
I designed shoes for the show.
Yeah, Paul, this won't be your first rodeo. You've done voices for other animated films, I know, because I've seen them. So, first off, one of the things we're going to do tonight as well is we're going to show some fan casting. Paul came up with the idea of who would I get to play certain actors in the Full Fungus, and this will be a good chance to to go with that. So, all right. With that being said, I'm going to show a clip first. One of the things, if you've been following this 14 or 15 previous episodes of this, one of the things that's kind of cool is in the middle of this project, jumped over to a new editing system, which is a really smart thing to do in the middle of a big, giant project, is to switch your whole entire creation system. I went to Final Cut Pro. I used to use, for years, have used iMovie. And I just said, you know what, this has to be the one that there's no other time, better time than right now. I'm going to jump over. And I got the Final Cut Pro. And it was a gamble that really paid off big time. In fact, there really was a learning curve, because what I've discovered is that Final Cut Pro is the big brother to iMovie. It's iMovie, but times 10. So it's the layout is the same. The usage is pretty similar. There really was no learning curve. And I just really like the functionality of it. I think it's designed on my level. It's not too, I mean, you can do some really crazy things with it, but it's also very simple to use. You know, Corbin made a video the other day. But
that's how easy.
Yeah, he's like really, I don't know. Corbin's really against the war in Ukraine, but
Yeah.
I don't know why. But you know, he's got really strong views.
I believe he told me war. What is it good for?
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
That's the hard-hitting question, Corbin.
Give me some cat food. So, anyways, all right. So I'm gonna play a clip now, and in this clip, you will see they're introducing. You guys have seen this.
Jim, set it up for us.
You guys,
Yes. Have we seen this clip?
You have seen this clip because I've
Okay.
shown it on the show, and you guys have seen this sneak preview.
Mhm.
It's the scene where they're introducing the fighters, these two female MMA type fighters, and what I did is I used Final Cut Pro to do the whole kind of like what you're seeing here with the squares, to lay out squares and do that. Now, mind you, there's no music to this. In the final version, there'll be music added to it, so that'll help.
This is work in progress.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Okay.
So, or a whip, as we call it in the business.
Mhm.
So,
Ooh.
let's watch this clip of the full fungus, and we'll be right back.
Introducing, folks, fighting out of Palmdale, California, by way of Boca Raton, Florida, with a professional record of 17 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw. The 2-time Desert Fighter of the Year, Yolanda "Les Rights" Ferguson, and her opponent, with a record of 7 wins and no losses, a mixed martial artist fighting out of Encino, California, Randy the Beast Fighter!
Get ready to say goodnight, bitch.
That's right, the B word. So,
So who's the ring announcer?
so here I'm gonna let you know, everybody that's in that scene. Nisam Leon, my longtime collaborator, is the ring announcer in that. He gave me like a 10-minute version of like he was going, and the doctors at ringside are, you know, because he's very well versed when it comes to boxing and fighting, and you know, he knows everything. So he did it legit, but I had to cut it down. I'll probably release the unedited version on my Patreon. By the way, if you have a Patreon, it's Christmas. I can't afford any gifts unless you give me at least $2,000 a week in Patreon. So I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be greedy, but okay. So the female, get ready to say goodnight, bitch. That's Missy Stecco, who Paul Pate introduced me to. She's awesome. She's really super easy to work with and fun, and she did a great job. So, and although she doesn't speak in this, Brandy Fungus, who's married, I mean, whose maiden name is Brandy Carlisle, but Brandy Fungus is played by Malia Kerr, Corey Kerr's wife, or is Corey Kerr Malia Kerr's husband? I think that it's more like. So, anyways, that's a little scene. You know what? We've got all kinds of comments here. I didn't even realize this.
Oh,
So Dee Dee says, let's just read them out loud. Woot! Fungus, dinos, aliens, cats, comics, and pants. Something for everyone here. Yes, because Paul, we all know, does not wear pants.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
not- it is
Refuses. Refuses.
And then Philip says, hey guys, wish I could sit on in this one, but I'm at work. Philip, you need to quit right now
Yeah.
and participate in this stream because, you know.
No job is that good. No job is worth it.
that's right.
Barbara, Chicken Pot Pie Society. Boca Raton's Spanish words for rat's mouth. Is that right? Yeah, maybe. Sounds good to me. Yeah. Thank goodness it's not culo raton, because that would be something else, right? Right, Paul? You're funny. Anyways. Real quick, we have one more comment about Corbin. It's always about Corbin when he's involved. Well, if Corbin can do it there, then hope there's some maybe. Okay. All right, Corbin, you got your fan mail. So if anybody has any questions, pop them in. But we're gonna go right to Hat Guy. Well, they're all hat guys. I'm the only hatless guy, right? How about this hat?
Okay, so
There we go. There we go.
It's dirty.
that's great. All right, so Jim, you had sent us this clip. I watched it, a few times, and it's great. It was, a lot longer than that. That piece there, it had several scenes and the transitions between scenes and things. You said it doesn't have music,
Right.
And so as I was watching it, all of this is great. I mean, I love so much of it, but as I was watching it, I do like the scenes. So I was imagining like some music playing in the background, Some of it's like real obvious, like where there would be music. But also there's other times where it would be great if there's not music. I don't know if you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like kind of like that minimalist sort of, I don't know what you call it, but like the one movie that I think of is Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was like a lot of like awkward silence in that movie,
Yeah.
They're like in that
Any music in that movie, now that I think about it? Like
Transitional only.
transitional, but not during, there's no score, right?
Well, the whole movie's about a score, Gary.
Wow. Is that what we're doing? We're doing that now?
That's great. Hey, that sounds so familiar.
That's a callback from the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ding ding.
Paul, don't worry, because
Yeah.
our good friend Dr. Hodges has given me a complex about having music just playing in the background. Not that I do that. I don't do that normally, but now I'm even more aware because he criticized the great Christopher Nolan. Heard of him?
It's the only, by the way, the only complaint I had about a lot of Nolan's movies, but Oppenheimer, the only complaint is that the music is just wall to wall all the time, and sometimes fighting the dialogue. And I just find it a little irritating. I feel like John Williams is kind of bad with that too. Like it's just constant music. Where I like a scene where
I get it, but John Williams is kind of a bad example because John Williams, to me, that really makes Star Wars because it's so good.
right.
It really it's the secret weapon of Star Wars. But I get what you're saying. There's a lot of movies that just have music unnecessarily in the background. It's just playing.
Yeah, and I just think like the atmosphere of your movies have are great without.
Yeah. I plan to. Well, I'll just let you know this. I'm very mindful of that, and I plan to use it transitionally for the most part.
Right. Yeah.
And then when there is music, like there's a scene that takes place in a bar, which is every single movie I do, it seems like.
Yeah.
But it takes place in a bar, and this girl's at the event at the jukebox at the beginning. She selects a song. You'll see the title of the song, and then she goes back and she's grooving, she's dancing, you know, and then that song plays in the background through the whole scene, and it fades out and it fades in, like, and it fades way out to almost where it's not playing. But
there's movies that, or there's songs and there's music in movies where it's in the scene, like what you're talking about there. But then there's music where it's just like background to something else that's happening.
Yeah, like
is that what was considered a score? Or is there a term for that? Like,
I'm going to use my music like they use in West Side Story, mostly during all the fights. That's right.
Sharks and Jets.
That's right. But my guys are the Sharks and the Jets.
The Sharks.
Yeah, it fits. But no, I'm very, and it's half jokingly, it is because Gary, we had this conversation and it's stuck in my mind now.
I'm surprised that really, that was months ago too. It was when I saw Oppenheimer.
It's kind of like if you were having a talk with your dad, and then your dad just threw the line out. Yeah, well, you know, and of course your mother was a whore back then. But then, so then we got the station wagon, and then you're just like, huh? So basically, Gary, you just ruined my life. Thanks.
All right.
Anyways, so
you wouldn't be the first.
That's no. I get what you're saying, Paul, and I am balancing that. Yeah, it's I did have. There's an opening basketball scene, and at least through a quarter of it, the music's really low in the background because it fits so well. So I kind of tried that with and without it. Mm-hmm. Hold on, Barbara says. But if there wasn't John Williams in it, then would I know when the scary parts were in Jaws?
It's true. John Williams' score in Jaws was great.
Yeah.
Great.
He's a terrible example, but speaking of terrible,
I feel like more as his later work. I feel like his kind of Star Wars prequel era on. Even Saving Private Ryan, I remember there were a lot of parts where it's like, this music is not helping me. Like, it's, you know, there's people talking, and I think it would have been more effective if it was.
Everybody dance now.
That was a strange choice. It was a strange choice for Saving Private Ryan. I don't know why they did that. But.
I like to move it.
Right. By the way, I hate to say this because we all, I think, love Prince here. The one thing that takes me out of Batman '89 is the Prince song during the Joker's parade. That's just don't ever do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. But
don't date your movie. Don't put an expiration date in your movie. But
I was so excited when that soundtrack came out. I was so like, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard. But yeah, it's just really dated.
It just doesn't work. Another one. This is, and then I promise I won't derail anymore. Have you guys seen Lady Hawk with Matthew Broderick and Rutger Hauer and Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
That has a modern soundtrack.
It has it's like Electric Light Orchestra or something. Terrible.
Yeah,
it's and it's a fantasy movie, and they have this weird kind of electronica. It's brutal, brutal. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, not. Well, I'm gonna have my music will be equally as terrible.
You guys see the movie Mo Money with Damon Wayans?
No.
I know what you're talking about because I've seen
a great soundtrack.
I've seen the video store bargain rack, and I know which movie you're talking about.
It's got Stacey Dash in it. It's a great movie.
A great movie.
Am I right, Chris?
The film's good. I liked it.
I like the book better. I thought well, speaking of Mo Money, let's go to Chris. Chris, I know that there's things mulling around in there. I can hear them rattling around. And do you have any questions or any? You've seen the 23-minute preview. Actually, Chris said he watched it a couple times, 2 or 3 times. Is that really true?
I watched it a number of times, and the film. Sorry, I promised you I wouldn't do that. Anyways,
now he's gone full Goldblum. on
I was gonna Goldblum the entire episode. Here,
Oh, like this.
yeah. Okay.
Really make the
Wow.
hands front and center. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I watched it,
You're only hurting yourself with that.
I think the brilliant thing about the use of what is it? It's called diegetic music, when it's immersive into the scene. And I think that when you can figure that out right, it has to fade in and fade out. Like you can have, somebody sit. You can have the soundtrack playing, and here's your Christmas jingle saying your Christmas film, and then somebody walks up to somebody else, and they speak over the music, and say, "Hi, is this seat taken?" And the other person takes their earbud out, and the music shuts down because it's what they've been listening to. Like, so it's this immersive thing. Yeah. But when you've got stuff like, the bowling commentary as he's sitting in his car, I think that's one of those things that lets people contextualize it in a realistic way, because you know that when you're sitting in the car waiting for somebody, they're more than likely you've got something squawking through the box. And so to have your character do that, the challenge is, of course, you've got the narration moving in and out of it as well. And it's almost like, if pacing allowed, it would be like the narration, and then as the narration comes to a point is when we've moved to the car window, and then the sound fades into the thing. But that's impossible to do in animation without some extraordinary budget team of 5,000 people. So, I mean, the way that you've got it cut, it works in the same way. In that it's just, we're in the car, he's listening to the bowling. And I like that a lot. I really do. I think that stuff like that is what gives it a little layer of authenticity, like stepping over into the into a game show, or stepping over into the flashback footage, and all of these sort of transitions through time and through other media. It just helps the viewer to sort of realize that this is an entire world that's been built here. So I got to commend you for that, Jim.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. This film, more than any film I've done, is going to have the most fine tuning towards the end, because there's just so many moving pieces. So like right now, I feel I have the really good frame, and there's a lot of, the car is almost built, but like the bolts have to be tightened at the end, and there's got, plus the fuzzy dice, you need those. Yeah. But I feel like I definitely don't feel derailed with this film. I feel like I know where it's going. I'm on track. I feel good about that. I'm really looking forward to doing some of the scenes I haven't done yet. I have 23 minutes, I'll say, animated, and I have another 20 minutes. Actually, there's about 10 minutes you haven't seen that are little individual scenes. But I haven't finished those yet. I haven't, I added all the voices and added all the stuff. But so it's been building this film as I go, kind of, and I've been jumping around a little bit, but I'm on track. I feel good. And the fine tuning is really helping me. It's really helping let me see what the film is becoming.
The start was so strong. And you've maintained the everything that you've added in before the start scene, the first scene that you did, and all of these subsequent scenes that follow it. I still laugh out loud when what's his face shoots that gun and goes blah blah blah. That is the most ridiculous thing on planet Earth, and I love it.
What's his name? Geralt, the basketball player. Yeah, is the most annoying person.
He's terrible.
Right? Like I feel like I played basketball with that guy, and it drives me crazy every time I watch it. It's like,
but the authenticity of that character, he is that guy. He's the guy that goes blah blah blah.
Doesn't ball and possession.
Ball and possession.
What do you have in your mouth, man?
Yeah, it's weird that I made
It's like
such
someone fed him peanut butter like Mr. Ed. Like
I made such a hateable character, but I'm playing him, so I don't know if I'm flattered or not. But another thing I like about this film is about doing this film is that the voice talent is all you guys, having to be able to play off of other people like that. I do not need to be the main character in the film, but I do like being pivotal characters. I strategically I don't think I've ever said this. I strategically put myself as Larry Carlisle, the game show host guy, because he is the gluiest character of this whole film. He is the one that can go, well, here's how it happened. And I can lean on myself to do that. I don't have to pick up the phone and go, hey, I forgot. Because I've done that already. Charlie, I need, like just tonight, as a matter of fact, I'm going to read you a personal text message. How's that? I'm going to read you a text message I sent Charlie, and I'm going to give you his reply.
Could you read it in the form of Morgan Freeman?
Well, only if I could help like Morgan Freeman. So I said, Dear Mr. Rossman, you haven't seen the last of me. There will be a future session between us for some touch-up and fill-in lines.
Whoa, this is Wraithy. Are you reading the right message?
Yes, there will be a future session between us with some touch-up and fill-in lines.
And fill in.
Which is exactly I know what you get when you go get Botox. And he wrote, how dare you? That's what he wrote. So that means yes. How dare you means yes. So yeah, that was tonight. So because there's some in fact, during the fight scene, there's a spot I need voiceover. And that's another thing too. For those that don't know, I'm in this. Before I had no voiceover, and now I'm at the stage where I can start adding the voiceover to make it feel like a detective film. And there's a lot of that. So I had Charlie record a ton of it. I thought we were done recording, but there's going to be spots where I need him to, because he's probably also the most connective character in this film. Wilt, Larry, and Chino are the three. But Larry, I can cheat and do my own stunts. So, by the way, I think Barbara's wrong with this. She says the only bowling scene worth discussing is The Big Lebowski.
Shomer Shamus, Barbara. Shomer Shamus.
So,
don't roll on Sunday.
They did a movie about the Jesus character, right?
Yeah,
I didn't see it, but
I haven't seen it either. And
nobody
I don't know
after that character.
I don't know if it was blessed by the Coen brothers or not. It must have been.
I mean, on some level, it must have been, but I'm kind of surprised. That's like when Paul does his his spin-off movie from the Full Fungus for Larry Carlisle, the Larry Carlisle Adventures. So, and Gary does Dinosaurs versus Mink Fungus. I'm absolutely claiming Gerald. I want to do.
Yeah, right.
That's a foul, Gary. That's a foul.
Right. I want to see him like go into court and argue with the judge over his DUI or something. I want to see like that.
Just the conception of that's fantastic.
I mean, it fits. It fits. That's the guy who would be doing. That's the guy who's playing basketball.
This is a great question. We should go around. What's the best spin-off from this?
I think Geralt's a big lead there.
Yeah,
that's a tough one to match. That or I like the idea of further misadventures of the record store guy, or the guy who's stalking.
The producer.
Yeah, the producer.
So Ken Mora plays Ennis Gruber, who's this producer who is also a Selena Gomez stalker. He looks like Paul. Who do you think? Well, we just should get into this. The casting. Let's get into the casting.
Yeah.
Why don't we?
Yeah, let's start talking casting.
Yeah, Paul had this great
Paul
idea.
First, since it was his idea.
Yeah, Paul
I did BDSM fan casting a while back.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this. Hang on.
Jim was mad at me because I said his character looked like
Oh no, I said that too. By the way,
What's that?
he said Ennis Gruber, the producer character, looks like Michael Bolton, and I said he was designed after Michael Bolton. Kind of.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's look. Let's look now.
There we go.
All right.
And are you able to control the slides? You should be able to, right?
Paul or me?
You or Paul?
Well,
I can't. That I know. I'm not aware of.
here, I'll do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Full Fungus fan casting by Paul Pate. Let's get his takes. So this is amazing, by the way. So Paul says, and is there a way to do this full screen? Hang on.
There is, and I forgot how.
What do you mean?
Hello.
There's no audio when you drop everyone.
Oh,
out.
you can't go.
Yeah.
You said it.
But
brother.
there is. I thought. No, hold on. Oh no, maybe there isn't a way to drop everybody else.
This is
out.
good. This is good.
Well, this is fine. This is good.
This
So,
works. Yeah.
Paul, for mink fungus, this is genius, by the way. Genius, because I think I would probably go with this. You would cast, and how do you pronounce his name? Is it
Lakeith Stanfield.
Lakeith Stanfield.
What is he? I recognize him, but what have I seen him?
He's been in a lot of stuff, a lot of big characters, but he played in the show Atlanta.
He's also in a movie called, what was
The
the customer
Western.
service movie called? Thank You for Calling or something like that.
Oh, you know that Western with all the black characters that had Bass Reeves in it? He was one of the guys in that too. I can't remember the name of that movie, but
Yeah, but he was
I'm
also
surprised
in
there haven't been more Bass Reeves movies. By the way, like that's such
Yeah.
a crazy story. There should be lots of movies about him. But
Yeah, I saw this, by the way, the quick tangent. I saw the series on CBS, and at first I thought, oh no, this is going to be another, I don't know if I want to see this. And then it quickly turned a good corner, and it's really, really well done. It looks very expensive too, but that's another movie. Let's talk about Lakeith Stanfield playing Mink
there's
Fungus.
Mink Fungus.
He has
And
all the qualities.
he's also a quirky kind of actor.
Absolutely. That's
Just be
genius casting. Genius casting.
it's
Of
very
course-
good. It was one of the casting choices I was very jealous of.
Yeah. Of course, Mink Fungus is played wonderfully by Deacon Burns. So he's created the soul of Mink Fungus. But if you're going to translate it to the stage, Lakeith's that's your guy. Mysterious, strange, brooding, and troubled. Lakeith can pull it all off while remaining sexy cool, just like Mink. That was a very good one. Well, this right there set the tone. This was, and then this next one blew my mind. Tell me if you agree.
Yeah,
Gina Carano.
That's my pick as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did a second choice after this was picked. I was like, this is the best choice, but I was like, I'll pick something else just not to match.
I'm curious to see who you
Tammy Wynette.
Just going completely against type. Let's go.
I like it. I like it. All right, that's a great choice. By the way, in her prime, best looking athlete ever.
Oh, sure.
I have to say.
Yeah.
All right. This one.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
Very good.
Photos
Very good.
look like Koviak. Wow.
It's got the right shaped head.
Yeah.
Now, trivia fact, did not design Koviak after any actor or anybody. That was way back in 2011 or whatever, whenever I did that film, Seven Smiles. And I just drew him. In my head, I thought, oh, he looks like a Yul Brynner, Telly Savalas type, mob guy. But this guy could play Koviak. Wow.
Yeah. And he can be scary.
He is scared. I'm scared now.
Yeah.
That photo looks like him. Both of those photos look like Koviak. That's a nut.
Can you read the little tagline?
Yeah, somebody's got to contact Hollywood when this comes out so they can make the live action version. I just want all of the money. Larry Carlisle. This is a great one.
This is a very good one.
Yeah.
I
would John Michael Higgins. He's hilarious in everything he's in.
He seems like a game show host. He seems like a game show host.
I think he is a game show host. I think he does something on one of the game show channels. Yeah.
Wow.
See,
Perfect.
there you go.
Perfect Larry Carlisle. I would dye his hair really jet black.
Right.
Like fake black. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good, Paul. Wow. You'd be a good casting agent. All right. Next choice. Wilt Fungus. Seth Gilliam. Wow. This also blows my mind. Now,
Little fella.
where's he from?
He's in The Wire.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I never watched The Wire, but
And he's been,
what qualities do you think?
Well, listen though, Deacon's voice for Wilt to me is the best. It's just great. I love the way he talks and when he does that voice.
Yeah.
It cracks me up. And so I just picture this guy, but talking with Deacon's voice.
Wow.
So
wow. Right here, yeah, and I
Thanks,
agree.
Deacon.
The descriptions are good. Yeah, they are. I think all of us were blown away when we saw these. And of course, who else could play Chino Diamond but
Natch.
Charlie Rossman? Chino Diamond obviously is a skewed, bastardized version of Charlie Rossman. But Charlie Rossman is a skewed, bastardized version of Charlie Rossman. So that all works out. But I feel #blessed to have met Charlie, ever have met him. And here's another trivia fact. Charlie and I grew up in the same town. Charlie's, I want to say he's 70 years older than me. It might be 60 years older than me. But Charlie went to my same high school. No, Charlie's just a few years older than me. He went to my same high school, and he grew up, his house where he grew up is only 6 blocks from my house. So he knew my brothers and sisters, but Charlie and I didn't know each other until, when did Infinity Pool come out? Or was it All That Glitters? I don't know. Like, we've known each other like 6 or 7 years, and yeah, it's like instantly bonded and same sense of humor. And Charlie's, plus he's super talented. And for those of you that don't know, if you go Google Charlie Rossman, he's been in everything. Tons of movies. We had a discussion the other day, and I mentioned The Office. He's like, oh yeah, I was on that episode. I'm like, what? Yeah, really, really great. All right.
Great
Beautiful.
Great pick.
It's great.
That was
Well
fun.
done.
That was when I saw that, I was
You
like,
raised the game. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I better take this shit seriously.
so I think I'm really good at creating characters but I'm horrible at casting. Like, if you ask me to cast a movie, that's not a strength I have. But this kid, yes, good job. So we're gonna look at Gary Hodges.
Shall I navigate? Do you want me to navigate?
Yeah.
So some of these, you'll know them when you see them. Some I picked because I thought they looked right.
Okay.
And some I picked because they're actors I really like, and I would just like to see them do that part. So
okay. I have no idea who.
Yes.
I would love to see him do a part like this.
Yeah,
I love this guy in everything that I see him in. He's really, really phenomenal. He's one of these actors I think should just have more work. Like,
ironically, his name is pronounced Chris Edwards. I
think that's how you say it. Yeah.
This guy, he would bring the tears. The tears.
I think I could picture him doing also the range of like cleaned up, like earliest part of Mink's career, but then also strung out crazy, like that. So I thought that would be fun.
Ooh, that would be. I'd have to do a coin flip between him and the other actor, because there's
both would be fun. You know what? Make the offer to both and just see, like, use that to pressure them to take less money.
Neither one of them would get it. You're going to be stuck with Samuel Jackson
or Sam Jackson. Boy, that's not it would be entertaining.
I'll get Kevin Hart to play. Oh my god!
Oh, I love it. This is the best. Oh, perfect, dude.
Now, this is the one where I was like, did you base his look off of Pharrell? I mean,
I did not.
I mean, look at that.
Perfect.
I did not at all, but that's great. You know what? Here's a little trivia fact. In my mind, and I did not work off a photo. In my mind, I based him more off of Don Cheadle.
Oh, yeah.
but a weird version. Like it doesn't really look like John Cheadle, but
like the devil in a blue dress. Period.
Oh, that's such a good movie, and that's peak Don Cheadle, which is sad. It was a long time ago, but wow, he was phenomenal.
And body type, I based them off of Sammy Davis Jr.
Well,
because he's little.
Pharrell's voice would work because he's got that mousy kind of.
Yes.
He makes people happy.
Young guy.
He makes people happy, and not only does he look the part, I fell in love with the idea of taking a musician to play Will. Like it's just keep it all.
You know what? There's another one that
my God
might be able to play the part really well is Donald Glover.
That
I almost picked Donald Glover for this part. Yeah,
he could probably nail it too.
He's another super talent. Like that guy can do anything. That's so.
Wow.
So for Kovac,
that's a good one. Yeah,
I don't know who I know that face, but I don't. What's he?
So I only know him from Game of Thrones, and he was. You should at least load up his parts from that because this guy's terrifying. He's so intense. He's so just that face, like this kind of scowl all the time. As soon as I saw Kovac, I was like, oh, it's got to be that guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was thinking more since he shaved his head, Howie Mandel, but okay. Wow. I feel like Sophie's choice. Oh,
now, this is why this one doesn't look anything like him. No, I would just love to see Paul Giamatti play a PI. I think that would be so much fun. I think it'd be perfect.
Oh, we have to make this happen.
I went through some.
This is only if Charlie gets hit by a car.
Yes, of course.
Driven by Paul Giamatti.
Right. Yes. Okay.
He's the one that I just quoted on our chat. If she starts drinking Merlot, I'm leaving.
Yes, I figured that had to be it. I love that movie too. Sideways.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my top 15 movies of all time. Sideways.
It's a great movie.
It's so good.
A great movie.
I love that film. Yeah.
I like the idea. Not only do I love the idea of seeing like Paul Giamatti in like a PI noirish kind of thing, but I like that. I was looking at some bigger guys or tougher guys, like more grizzled looking guys, and I know I don't want to spoil anything. I thought it might be better to have a more vulnerable guy in this part, like if he's going to be like marauded by mafia types, for example. Like you don't want a guy who can handle himself, who looks intimidating. Like I wanted someone who's like a little like, ugh, like this could get away from him real fast.
So Chino Diamond is kind of like the fall guy. He's been a lot of things. He played maybe a little bit of football, semi-pro football.
Okay.
But he's not a giant dude. He's also been a stuntman for a long time. He was a foot fetish model in Japan.
Happens.
He was. It's been a lot of things.
That's one.
He's a big fella, but he's got really small feet.
Right.
He was a Marine too. And that's brought up in this. And everything I just said is brought up in this film. You guys,
including the foot fetish model,
including that he mentions it. Yeah. So, but the thing,
this is a great one.
I see him kind of like Charlie. Obviously, he's based on Charlie. He's this big, tough framed dude, but he's vulnerable.
You see, and I was leaning, like I said, it was both. I wanted someone vulnerable.
That's a great choice.
But I also just like the idea of him kind of. He's another guy. I'll see almost anything he's.
Same here, and he's one of my favorite actors. I think he's fantastic. That's all right. Hugh Grant. I was like, wow.
This is so funny. I was thinking of him as well.
I think he would be great because he's really. So I saw him. The most recent thing I saw him in, of all things, was that new Dungeons and Dragons movie. And he was hamming it up. He was just loving, like chewing up the scenery, and he was this sleazy, smiling, smirking guy, and I was now that I'd seen that, I was like, if you do the fake dye job on him, like he could be kind of a great game show host. He could be sort of a sleazy game show host.
Yeah. I could, yes. Okay. I agree. I could see that happening. Wow.
And then this was my second choice. Gina Carano is for sure better.
Yeah.
But Ronda Rousey would also be a strong Brandy Fungus.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the fighting poses in the film are directly from Ronda Rousey.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's probably closer to it too. Like if you really were doing a movie, like Gina Carano hasn't been doing that for a while, and sorry Gina, if you're watching, she's got a little big, maybe
now
So
she's not watching, Gary. Good job.
Yeah, now she's not. Now she's tuned out. She's on her way to beat my ass. But so anyway, that's all I've got. Those were the ones I did.
You deserve
bravo. Well done.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow.
But we'll just linger on the one I was most proud of right there.
Yeah, I love that one.
Well, let me give you my favorite one of yours is, let's see. Well, I'm gonna have to go with that.
Yeah.
Although it's sacrilegious because I'm not replacing Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie. You know what's funny? I have to say this real quick about Charlie Rossman. Charlie Rossman can hang with any actor in the world, like any level actor. Charlie Rossman can hang right there with them. He's that good. I've seen him in other things, and he's much like Paul Giamatti, always one of the best things in any film he's in. Always super solid, super solid. And he paid me to say that. Thank you. Checks in the mail. All right. Okay, let's remove that. Wow, I'm above. So now you've seen the visuals.
Yes.
Now your ear holes are about to be massaged and relaxed by the dulcet tones of Christopher Corbin Runciman, because Chris is going to give us verbally some of his picks.
Well, okay, guys, just be a second here.
Listen to those dulcet tones.
Should I hold up photos of the people that you're talking? Well, I guess it's too late.
I think it's too late. Yeah, because I joined in so late, I didn't, and I had all this running around to do, like for my daughter's birthday and that. I missed the chance to sit down and put visuals with it. So hopefully people will know who I'm talking about, because my list is a little ridiculous.
Yeah. By the way, Chris, priorities: your daughter's birthday versus this.
She's 32. She's had birthdays anyway. So
she's had so many birthdays. Yeah.
We got her a card for like
the other daughters.
We got her a card for like she's an adolescent. Lori picked out this card if she was like, a little girl, and we filled. That's so true, honey. Don't care how old they get. We're gonna do whatever we want with the parents. So the list that I had is I don't know if people are gonna know who some of these are. Brandy, I also chose Gina Carano.
Okay.
I didn't actually know her name until like seconds before I typed it down. I'm like, what is that woman's name? And I was trying to think about it forever. But unfortunately, like two of the females on my list, I couldn't think of what their real names were. Lori helped me with the other one. For Geralt, I have Peter Berg.
I'm gonna pull these guys up.
Does anybody know who Peter? Do you guys know who Peter Berg is?
Yeah. He's just.
Yeah.
He
wow, that's really good.
Like that's
great.
Yeah.
I just thought Peter Berg would kill that. Like he would just absolutely kill it. What's your problem, man? Because he's even got that structure in his mouth.
He does. It's kind of mean to Peter Berg, but he just sort of looks like a dirtbag.
That's not cool.
He looks like a guy that should have a speech in.
That's only sort of mean to Peter Berg. It's
only sort of.
It's also double mean, because I was going to say he kind of looks like Paul.
Oh.
You just ate your dinner, Paul.
Man, that's a foul, yo.
Foul.
Foul, man. I can't even feel my equilibrium.
So for Wilt, I have Keegan-Michael Key.
Very good.
From Key and Peele. I have him because the guy. So I chose a bunch of people that have done some real departure things as character actors, and that guy can play anything.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. He's brilliant.
Everybody loves him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for Chino Diamond, I chose Diego Luna.
That's
which I thought was a fascinating. I liked that choice. I liked that. I like him. I like the idea of him as a PI.
He's got this fantastic, understated persona, and if you think about him in Andor,
Yeah.
And the subdued expressions he has in his face, as you can tell he's wrestling in the moment. That guy's a private eye,
Yeah.
you know, in the Chino
Yeah.
Diamond role.
Well, and to me, at least in the classic PI, I think the key is you want some weariness. Like you want someone who just looks a little worn out, and Diego Luna has that. Paul Giamatti has that. Like I think that's a thing where they need to look a little bit.
Yeah.
Like my mom would have said, like put away wet. Like a little bit of a kind of just not like there's just a little fray on the edges. Yeah.
Dee says, "Good Chino." Thanks, Dee. So for the game show host, I chose Chris Parnell.
Parnell.
That's great.
Chris Parnell was on SNL years ago, but he has done amazing voice work for years. He plays Cyril Figgis off of Archer.
Yeah.
And the character even looks at him. So this guy, do you know that I'm friends with so-and-so? Like he's just the whole persona of this guy is just schmarmy enough to play these parts.
Yeah.
And for his wife is Cameron Diaz.
Everyone knows Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's a good one. That's a really good one. In fact, she kind of looks like her, and I didn't design her after her, but she does look like her.
She
Jim
does.
certainly has a bookmark of Cameron Diaz on his phone. You can pull it up. Come on.
She looks like Cameron Diaz on a really bad day, right? So for Yolanda Ferguson, I chose Michelle Rodriguez from Fast. I can't stand this actress, by the way.
Really?
I can't stand her. But that's why it's perfect for her to get a shot in the face by Brandy.
Blue Crush?
No, I can't stand her at all. Period. Just everything I've seen her in, she plays her, and it's
not in a lot of range.
She doesn't act.
She's a one note pony, and that works well for somebody who hits the mat. So, okay, so here's where my list gets really weird. Koviak, Ben Mendelsohn.
This is good.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Very good.
Ben Mendelsohn.
He's another one that I would watch do anything. I love him in everything I see him in.
He's
a
bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? But you know, he can play.
What's he been in?
Oh,
he was in Rogue
One.
Yeah, he was in.
There's a new film out with this actress that was in the Defiant series or whatever that was called for young adults. I ended up the kids watched it, but this actress went and produced this really great crime drama about a sniper attacking a bunch of people on New Year's Eve, and so she cast Ben Mendelsohn as this failing FBI agent. And it's like the guy's range is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he makes that entire film. He and the cinematographer make that a good film for would otherwise be garbage. But I got Daryl.
Wow.
Justin Bateman.
What? Okay.
Now, the reason I say Justin Bateman is have you ever seen Smokin' Aces?
No. But
okay, so he plays this washed out lawyer, junkie, alcoholic who is sitting in a hotel room in his boxers in his t-shirt, sweating it out as he's got these guys around. His voice is like this, and he hasn't slept in 3 days, man. His hair's crazy, and there's a bunny mask or a bunny helmet for like one of those ones you put over top of your head.
Yeah,
sitting on the table for no reason. it's just for no reason. He's like, listen, man, let me tell you what's happened. And it's such a departure for Justin Bateman. I feel like he needs more roles like
and
that.
And he has played a warehouse manager in.
Oh yeah, he has.
In what's that?
Mike
Extract.
Judge.
Mike Judge's Extract. Have you seen that film?
I own that film. Film.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love that.
So good.
Yeah.
Who else have I got left? Oh, Gruber, Gary Oldman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So let me see if I can find a picture of. I can find a picture of my own character. I'll show you. I won't even have to. Well, you know what? Gary Oldman is, I always say this, is, in my opinion, our greatest living actor alive.
He might be. He's certainly on the top 10 list.
He gets my vote. I think.
But him is in a few minutes of that character is just it's a runaway moment. Do you know what I mean? Like you see that, and then somebody wants an entire film of that record producer.
Yeah,
with his weird hangout on the.
Yeah.
So Ken Mora does the voice to Ennis Gruber, the producer, and it's such a pivotal role. I had Ken last week record some additional lines because it's such an important character that sets some things in motion in this film that he needed more lines. So that was a good problem to have, to want more lines from a character.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ennis Gruber. And Paul, you can tell us who he's designed after.
Yeah, that's Michael Bolton. I think Michael Bolton does act.
But put Gary Oldman in that.
Gary Oldman.
100%. Yes, he'd kill it. He would kill it.
That's perfect.
I would be honored to have Gary Oldman play this character.
So for my last two, The Man Who Eats Your Dinner, Jim Luan.
Oh, the Gopher Snake.
Steve Buscemi.
As the Gopher Snake, really?
That's the Gopher Snake, yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just
I'll show you what the Gopher Snake looks like. The Gopher Snake, that's a very interesting pick, because to me, the Gopher Snake is very nasally. I guess Steve Buscemi can kind of be nasally. And the Gopher Snake, without meaning to.
Fucking tight.
Where is he?
Steve Buscemi line.
Yeah.
Where's the Gopher Snake? I know I have a picture. I'm looking through all my photos here.
Do you remember him in Airheads? Anyways.
Sort of. I don't know if I saw it. Here we go. There's a Gopher Snake.
Sort of long hair wig. Yeah,
there's the Gopher Snake.
So the Gopher Snake, without meaning to, ended up kind of looking and having a little bit of persona of Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that's Hunter S.
You know who I was cast in that role?
What's that?
The guy that plays Viper on Top Gun.
Not Val Kilmer.
Who?
No,
which one is Viper?
In Top Gun? In the new Top Gun or old Top Gun?
No, the old one. The
Sacrilegious. I've never seen the first.
Is it John?
All I can think about is that volleyball game.
Yeah. By the way, whoever plays him has to have a magnificent rat tail.
Yeah.
You got one more character, Chris?
Yeah. So for Mink, I would cast John David Washington.
That's a good one,
because that guy is phenomenal. It's Denzel's son.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah. But I just those scenes of him when he's in good shape, John David would own it. But those scenes of him when he's in bad shape,
yeah,
he would get nominated for something.
Yeah. John David Washington is also one of those actors that any movie he's in, it elevates. And you know what's funny? Completely did not write his dad's coattails, because a lot of people know he's his son. He has like a star factor to him. Really good. But yeah, that would be great. So I got like 3 strong minks. See how they run. So anyways, I got 3 really strong minks. So
you can have your agent call their agents. And tonight,
I'd almost feel like I should go through and pick who would be the winner of each one. So I can't.
No, we're all winners.
We're all winners.
The journey is its own reward.
At the very least, I'd like a participation ribbon.
The magic was in us the whole time.
That's right.
You know what you know what
Michael Ironside. That's the actor I was trying to think who played Viper.
Michael Ironside is almost 80 years old.
Michael Ironside.
Jester. He played Jester. Viper was Tom Skerritt.
Michael Ironside is Koviak.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Koviak. Michael Ironside is Koviak.
Yeah, he would be a great Koviak.
Michael Ironside would be a great
Koviak.
You know what?
The old Koviak.
We're going to have to mull this over as we take a quick station identification commercial break.
Break.
All right. We'll be right back after this message.
Taco. Where else can you get family fun in Frankfurters? Taco. Holy frijoles! Taco dog is rad! Taco Dog. Try our new dog stada with beans, rice, and sour cream. Taco Dog. It's whooping good. Our newest location, Bellflower.
Yeah, so you guys should try
That's so
Taco
good.
Dog sometime.
I'm so
Sounds
hungry.
delicious.
Yes, it's
I'm hungry.
highly unnatural, but very, very delicious.
Yeah.
So, ooh, man, that casting was extremely fun. Extremely fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I thought I every one of you picked better people than I could have thought of. You know, I don't have that good of a imagination when it comes to casting.
See,
Like
I thought my list was weird.
mm-hmm.
And then as soon as Paul said Gina Carano, I'm like, I'm validated.
Anything you touch is unexpected.
Well, my list is more based on the visuals, where I think Chris's list is more based on the, the acting.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Then
your
Gary's is a little bit.
Paul.
I did a little both.
Your Koviak sticks in my mind. Out of everybody who's named,
Who's
I know
Koviak?
he's English, isn't he?
Who?
Mark Strong, he's British, yeah.
Yeah, but he could.
My guy's a Brit too.
Yeah, he would make a great. I mean, his features really look like Koviak. So
Well, that one picture that had the same color, where he was in his suit, he had the same color. in
Yeah.
that picture.
yeah,
Everything was the same. So.
yeah. I have. Entertain yourselves for a second. I want to show you another character that you guys will like. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. You guys want to see? You guys saw The Wire, right?
Look at him entertaining himself right there. Who is that a bobblehead of?
Senator Clay Staples from The Wire. It says
Oh,
right there.
That's a great bobblehead, man. All right.
And it has
Canadian
a voice.
content.
Get back. So I have
Rated
another.
nothing unorthodox.
I also got a great. Oh man, it fell. I also got a great looking doll here. Let's see.
So
Right.
I was Paul Pate doll.
Yeah.
So I was
That's great.
drawing Koviak the other day, and I realized somebody else who could play Koviak because accidentally he ended up looking like my friend Paul Pate. It's the hat. It's only the hat.
It's
but-
the hat.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
took this picture, I sent it to Paul. I said, Paul, I accidentally making Koviak look like me.
There we go.
This
There
is
you go.
Koviak 1973 or so.
You got Gary and I behind him.
Yeah.
This guy's they don't appear much in the movie, but this guy right here, his name is Norris, and the other guy's name is Red. So
Nice.
at least
Hey,
they're
can we
lawyers.
talk about the book idea you have?
What's that?
Can we talk about the book idea that you have?
That's
Jim?
another. Yeah, you know what? I have it written down right here to talk about it. So, one of the things I'm going to do, and I told myself I want to do this, and it's perfect timing because Chris is going to kind of do something similar. I want to do a character book. There's so many characters in the Full Fungus that I want to do a character book that'll have, like, if it's a side character that only appears in one scene, like Red or Norris, it'll have a picture of them and then it'll have a backstory on the other page, you know, for each character. There'll be hundreds or whatever. And for the main characters, maybe they get 2 or 3 pages of pictures or whatever. But yeah, like a character like I was going to call it fungus people or something like that, or people of the fungus or something. But yeah, I want to do that. And I want to use Amazon to distribute it because I don't want to print it. I want
Supportive women. Oh, that other Amazon.
But we were talking about we're going to use Paul as a guru because it's something that we're both interested in. Paul's done this before. So any advice you can give to us, Paul, please let it be known.
Act like a man.
Yeah. Drink lots of water.
Yeah. I've only have delved into to the book forum maybe when I did a book called Liquor Store Logic, which was a collection of artwork from different films and different posters and ancillary art and things like that.
Yeah.
But DD says I should do a fan magazine. Well, be my guest, people. I'll send you whatever artwork you want. but yeah, and I think I really do want to do it through Amazon because I don't want to put.
You want to support small companies?
Yeah, I think
right.
Jeff Bezos. I heard he was saving up to get a BMX bike.
I want to help him buy Jupiter.
So yeah. I want him. I don't want him to starve. So now I don't want to put any money into it. That's the truth. I just don't want to invest in it because I'm not trying to make money off this.
And then you don't have to worry about having boxes of books at your place.
Well, yeah, I mean, everything you can think of that would be the plus is the reason why I want to do it. Now, the negative I understand is that I'm destroying my community and the world.
Yeah.
But what have they ever done for me, really?
Yeah,
true.
So that's where I'm at.
Wow, man.
So,
I feel like Amazon's been a great business partner for me.
Yes, you're so corporate. Well,
someone's angling for a seat on the next rocket ship.
Or wants to sit on the next rocket ship, if you know what I mean.
They'll give me a seat.
If you've seen the rocket ship, I'm talking about.
Nice.
He'll rock it.
Oh, is that what Jeff Bezos calls it?
Def Leppard. Anyways.
So, Paul, you wanted me to bring this up. I'm bringing this up. Where are we going with this? You open the door. You got to walk through it. So, any tips? When designing a book like this? Anything to look out for because this will be you're working on your third. So.
Yeah, no. You just got to go over the specs, and then probably the hardest part is putting the covers and the spine. You got to figure out the width of the spine based on the number of pages. But I mean, it's you just got to figure out the specs and create a PDF, and then.
Is that your way of telling me to be a man that I need to check the width of?
Be a man.
You got a tape measure, right, on your belt, in your tool belt right there.
What's a tool belt? No.
Anyway. So yeah, but
all right. Well, because Paul, I know Paul needs a glass of milk. I'm gonna give you a break for a second because I did have more clips to play.
Oh, okay. While you play it,
I don't unless you guys have. Okay, I'm gonna play you this one. I don't think you've seen this one. There's a scene in the film. And this scene that you're going to see is only 30 seconds long. I haven't processed totally the color on it because I'm going to color correct it to make it look 70s-ish. But we're Mink's at a college, and he's just talking to college students and saying nonsense. And they're like, wow, yeah, man. They're very intellectual. And you're going to see a young Corey Kerr says one thing, and then the next person that you hear talk besides Mink is a young actor named Gary W. Hodges.
Yeah. Now I also recorded some kind of hippie murmuring in the crowd. Did any of that?
That's throughout. So I'll tell you the hippie murmurs. You're not gonna. This scene, the full scene's like about 2 minutes long, but you're gonna see 30 seconds of it. But in that full scene, some of the hippie murmurers that we have are Corey Kerr, Gary Hodges, Malia Kerr, Missy Stecco, Joshua Kemble, and I think maybe Chris Ward might have done some too.
A lot of hippies.
It's a lot of hippies, but they're just spaced out. No pun intended.
Yeah. All right. Let's see it.
Let's see a little. This is a really quick clip. So here we go. Acting.
Jazz is just a vibration, baby. The sky ain't blue. Water ain't wet. Dirt ain't dirty. You dig?
Yeah. That's quite an interesting take on postmodern quasi-traditionalism. Mink is just more of an existential primal feel or subconscious, a cathartic flow state.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
So, yeah, there's a longer clip, and it escalates into a little disagreement, but that's some fine acting there, Gary.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I think that's a question we've all been asking ourselves too.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I'm still asking myself that.
Yeah. I'm dying to hear the answer when the movie airs.
Is it? Well, it's a cathartic flow state. I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
I know. So, let's see if we got some comments going here too. I'm gonna play this one. I haven't even read it. It could be really inappropriate. 60s colors. Yes, we spell that with letter U. Our Tupperware olive green, Tupperware harvest gold. Yeah, there's some of that in the 70s too. I have that. So this story takes place, flashbacks go all the way to 1959. Then some of it takes place in 1968. Then a couple of flashbacks are like 1971, 72. And finally, there's another one in 77 or 76 or 77. But a majority of the movie takes place modern times in Los Angeles, like everything else I do. Mm-hmm. Oh, look here's a comment for me to read. Oh, okay. That's very meta.
There we go.
So, all right. I have another clip to play, but before I do, let's just go down this list here and let me know. I want to let you know some of the nude people that are in this film that have been added since the last time I did one of these. Hey man, how's your movie going? So I think I kind of blew the secret. Joshua Kemble plays himself in this film.
He plays himself.
Is he streaming? Is he like drawing comics and streaming?
No, it's very another dimension, because it's like the what's that, the Spider-Verse or whatever, the the fungiverse.
Is he on a flat Earth or not?
Well, that's to be seen. The whole flat Earth thing, it all pans out. So that's a Paul joke. I'm sorry.
It comes around to it.
You got to have a whole, well-rounded view of that. So, he plays Joshua Kemble in a bar meeting Mink Fungus.
Wow.
So, it's really, I can't wait to draw that either.
Wait, I have clarifying questions. What year did Mink Fungus die?
76 or 77. I think it's 77.
So this is like very much a time traveling Josh Kemble.
Well, it has been said about him. It has been said. It's not proven, but So also added to this film, very excited, is the wonderful multi-talented Christopher, who goes by Chris. It's a nickname. Ward.
Nice.
Chris Ward. So Gary introduced me to Chris, and the prophecy has been fulfilled. Gary, tell us a little bit about the background history of Chris.
I don't even know where to begin. Chris is this guy I met when I was freelancing for Village Voice Media. We were both video game reviewers, and we hit it off immediately. I can say without reservation, he is one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. He's just one of those people. We all have one, but every time I end up talking to him, I'm just crying laughing. He has just that perfect thing where I'm just always finding him totally hilarious. Smart, great storyteller, really interesting, multi-talented guy. He's done all sorts of things. I think he's in basically advertising right now, or marketing, but he's done some writing. He was a DJ for a little while. He's a little bit of a musician.
Very, very naturally funny, and very easy to work with. Unlike Gary, who is demanding and diva-ish almost.
Right.
Chris has been he's been super easy, and I can listen to his outtakes just as comedy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you shared it was funny. That was another thing. It was a little bit like Paul's fan casting, where I was like, oh, we're going up here. We're not just kind of casually doing this. Like, we're really going to take this seriously. Yeah. 8 minutes of just riffing on line variations and just these real subtle, just to give Jim all these different choices, you know. And
it was great.
I guess we're here now. We're doing.
I have a lot of material to work with.
Yeah.
So
I gotta say, I've done the little bit of cartoons that I've done. That's one of the most fun things, is giving somebody some lines and then getting their take on it. And when you get all the unexpected stuff, you know, the creativity comes in, and you're like, oh, you know, that is way better than anything I thought of. You know?
I also found that out with the Christopher Runciman toy box that I opened. So, I mean, Chris Runciman can play a mobster. You can play a bowling guy. You can play anything, just pretty much anything.
Yeah, I look forward to maybe writing something.
A little girl.
Right.
Well, whatever you do when cameras
Hold
off.
on. Hello, my name is Sally. I'm 6.
Uncanny.
I've got a very specific set of skills. Yeah.
I enjoyed. I don't know if I can talk about the character, but I recently recorded a character for Jim.
Yeah, you could talk about it.
Well, it was a doctor character. You have a doctor.
What's his name?
What is it? Well, I think he's going to be Dr. Hodges, right?
Yeah, it's Dr. Dr. Let me. You want to do an exclusive?
Sure.
His name's Dr.
But I gave 3 totally different voice takes. Totally, I did all the lines 3 different ways because I had no sense of where he wanted to go. And it gets tough because when you do that, sometimes you fall in love with 1 or 2 of them, and that's not necessarily what he's going to pick. So you know, it's
originally the character. What we were going for, I said, Gary. First, Gary did the voice. Or did we come up?
No. We talked about what should he look like. We talked about
Sidney
that first.
Pollack. We both agreed. Let's make him look
I
like
said Sidney Pollack. He should look like Sidney Pollack.
Gary did the voice and he did the lines. He
looks
has
like
about
a doctor.
He's like 10 lines total. And then I drew the character and I realized, oh my God, he looks like another character that's in this film named Ben Fingerman, a lawyer. And he looked exactly like him. I'm like, I can't have him look like that. So I went to a whole different look. Then I thought, well, let's just make him look kind of more like Gary. Let's just really go for realism. So Dr. Hodges like this.
Yeah. That is.
So that's Dr. Hodges. And
it's exactly like me, right?
Exactly. It's like, are you looking at the mirror?
Wait a second. Gary's the bottom of the screen here, right?
Right. Crazy, right?
Yeah. It's like
uncanny.
So that's Dr. Hodges. And Dr. Hodges also is like snacking on pills and stuff like that as he's talking, you know. He's a mob doctor, so that tells you all you need to know. Much like Gary Hodges in real life. He's a mob doctor. So but thank you, Gary. Thank you for doing the wonderful vocal. So
well, it was fun to do his lines.
So Paul Pate is the only one on this stream who hasn't done a voice yet for the Full Fungus.
Yeah, so is he going to get drafted? Is that going to happen?
He is. He already has been. And,
good.
And I think there's a scene where it's going to call for a bowling groupie. So a fan of bowling that's at an event. And so I think Paul might be my guy. So, get ready, Paul. Get ready.
So excited. I did design the shoe footwear for the whole show, though. Right?
Well, yeah. There's a scene where, I use. Do I want to show this one too, Paul? All right. I'm going to show this. I'm going to show another clip, and then we're going to wrap up. But let me. So, Paul, tell the backstory of this while I find it real quick, please.
Well, there's a character in Detective Perez called the Man, and he's a bad guy, and he wears wingtip shoes. So anytime you see those wingtip shoes, you know it's bad news. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Zoom needed some shoes for his show, so I sent him the design for those shoes.
Nice.
And it's a pretty prominent scene too. It's like it's a very,
you know what I mean. If you're wearing wingtip shoes, you've got some swagger.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's not easy to pull off.
Yeah, not everybody can wear wingtip shoes.
well, you have to untie them before you pull them off. But yes, you're right.
Wow,
you are right.
Do you know what's even more exciting? Is finding a pair of size 15 wingtip shoes.
Those are some. That's a big.
Dr. Hodges is pretty top heavy too. He's kind of shaped like a canned ham on the narrow end or something. What's going on?
He's hefty. He's just
He's
big bone.
He's a big boy. He's robust.
I like that robust.
So the voice that Gary did, I pitch controlled it too. I put it a little bit lower than his regular register.
Yeah, so that was the thing. So I did 3 takes, but in my mind I had Sidney Pollack the whole time.
Yeah.
So then when I saw you showed me big boy Dr. Hodges.
So we had.
I had known he was going to be big. I would have done the voice fatter, like I would have done it a little different, because I was doing one was a very dweeby kind of high thing. Mm-hmm. And then I had a couple different, but then none of them really fit that body. Like it wouldn't really.
But when I did the pitch control and I listened to it, I said, this sounds like a hefty guy.
Okay.
So it fits. It totally fits. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, wow. Look at this, this huge coincidence. Howdy, Paul. I knew a fellow in the corps, Montgomery T. Pate. And my principal in high school was Mr. Lujan.
Wow.
If only you knew a Dr. Hodges.
Yeah.
Welcome, Ursa Major Prime. Welcome. So,
or a Mountie Runciman. That would be.
I know a constellation just like that Ursa Major Prime.
Yeah, yeah.
I know a snail named Gary. Fun, isn't that on SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to check.
It's like one of the only other Garys. Yeah.
Because if it's not on SpongeBob and I said that, then that's a horrible thing to say.
It's a weird thing to say. It's not even horrible. It's just puzzling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird things, I'm going to play the last clip. This clip is of Mink's band. I don't know if you guys got to see the 1950s flashback. I sent you a link.
I did. I watched.
Yeah, I saw it. This is great. Okay. I want to send it to a friend of mine. I can't wait for him to watch it.
So there's a whole.
I actually posted it on my channel. If you go to my YouTube, you can watch all these.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
I've actually got a bunch of cassettes or 8 tracks that I'm selling this.
Guys, these are the videos are watermarked. So I poured water.
VHS. That's what I've got my trunk full of them.
So this is a little, let's see, this clip's 38 seconds. It's a piece of a 7-minute segment of the film that takes place in 1959. At the scenario you're going to see is this is Mink Fungus's band, young Mink Fungus, his band, his jazz band, and they're in the back room griping that they're not getting paid because basically Kovac pays for everything, but he doesn't pay for everything. So they're complaining, and then what you don't see is Mink comes in the room and starts yelling and cussing and stuff like that. But this is the band. There's one person in the band, I don't remember his name. I'll tell you the characters real quick. The first guy that talks, I think, is Doodoo McPherson. He plays bass. Doodoo is played by Deacon Burns. Then there's Jellyfish Jones. He's the drummer. He's played by a guy named Michael Baker, or goes by Bake. The one I don't remember, this is Deacon's friend, nails it. He's the sax player. He'll be the one with the hat on, and his name is.
By the way, I'm sorry, Jim.
His name's Peebo Gant, and I don't know what the real guy's name. I think it's it's like Ahmed or something like that. But anyways, he nails it. He kills it. But I just wanted to give you a little banter between the band. What were you going to say, Paul?
Oh, this is my spinoff about this band.
Oh yeah.
When they actually go on tour with the Spinners.
Well, spoiler alert: the band survives the film, but Mink, and not on camera, probably fires them because by the end of Mink's life, he has a bunch of hippies that look like the Doobie Brothers playing jazz with them.
Right.
But, all right, so here's a quick shot of the band. Great voice acting by these guys.
Man, me keep saying the money's on this way. The money's on this way. You ask me, I think the money done lost its damn way, you dig?
One of us needs to talk to Mink. I mean, when he ain't high. Or maybe it's better if he is high. I don't know, man.
Mink ain't the problem, Peebo. It's that Koviak. That fool's just crazy. I ain't seen a check in about 3 weeks. What about you?
I ain't signed up for this.
Fool, Koviak don't give Meek the money. Meek can't give us the money. You want to talk to Koviak? Yeah, I ain't think so.
All I know is that I gotta get paid.
You gotta get
That's great.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
Gotta get paid. Come on.
Yeah. So when Deacon saw that scene, he's like, when Mink's going off and the whole bit and all that, he's like, it's like a drama. I'm like, I guess that's a story. But excellent. I'm so happy with the voice acting they did. There's a whole black and white section of the film, little section. There's a couple of black and white flashbacks, but so I'll say this: I'm about to wrap up, but challenges. What have been the challenges? Well, thanks for asking. The number one challenge with the Full Fungus has been because I didn't use a traditional script. I just used bullet points, and then I would move things around. The challenge is the Full Fungus has been like a jigsaw puzzle. So it's been a lot of little scenes done here and there that need to be connected. The greatest accomplishment with the Full Fungus, I think, is an exercise in storytelling. So that covers everything. That covers pacing, how to put these jigsaw puzzle pieces together, technical skills. I'm even adding more animation in this than I've done before. I say this all the time. I'm having a great time making this.
Perfect.
It's a labor, but I'm really enjoying it. And I hope that shows up in the final product.
That's great.
But I think it is already.
It's a lot of controlled, fun chaos, this film. But and I already know myself, so I know towards the end, I know what's gonna, like, the music.
This just occurred to me. I've just tried to describe this to you several times before, Jim. Like, you're an artist. You've got your technique down. You've got you're not trying to figure anything out. You're just refined. Your art is refined, and you're just making art. But I think this film, more than any of the other films, has layers to it. It's got depth and richness to it, more so than I think most of your other ones. So
I hope so, because it's 5 times as long.
Yeah, but no, I think Paul's right, though, because giving yourself the allowance to take these tangents, so that you veer off into this flashback, you veer off into this shot to the. You could have just had him. You didn't have to introduce the character in a game show, like just those little tangents, those little moves. Mm-hmm. Just layers of complexity.
Even like what you're talking about with, you could just have Chino sitting in the car talking, and then you could cut from him talking or narrating his thoughts, and then cut to the basketball game. Cut back and forth. You could cut back and forth, but you don't do that. You have the music like what Chris was talking about, how the music is the volume of the music. You know, even those those layers of action and film editing and stuff. I think they're really, you've leveled up on that. You know, so that's not really. I don't know if that's artistry. It's not, you know, technique or anything. To me, it's artistry. So
I appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, it is a big task. I am right now, I could easily say I'm halfway with all of the material I have. I'm not halfway as far as stuff being done, but I do have 23 minutes pretty much done. Here's one thing I'll throw out towards the audience. One challenge I'm finding is I have a few scenes where Chino is, you know, he's looking for Wilt. He's driving around town and stuff, and there's a voiceover. I'm running out of things to draw during the voiceover. You can only draw so many billboard signs, but like I need ideas for like, I mean, I could draw, I mean, I'm not going to, but like somebody digging through a trash can or something. You know what I mean? Like things like that, or somebody walking their dog. I don't know. I need like
why not though? Like why not allow yourself that? People standing at a bus stop.
I have that. I have.
You know, you've got all those little moments, especially if you look at it in the sense of, in the context of it. Like if you've got him in a car driving through Los Angeles, just sit down for a second and think about keynotes of what it is when you look out the window in the streets of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, and then put some of those insert some of those in. Like it doesn't, if you don't want to do it in a really dark, you know, look at all the tents, you know, or anything like that. But if you want to do it to frame that time and place, right, for whenever this specific series of shots takes place, then have people standing on a corner in the costumes of the day, and you have.
There are no tents in Los Angeles. What are you talking about?
What are you talking? You guys are really proficient at camping.
Don't believe everything you read.
Don't read. I can't read.
Does Chino smoke?
No, he doesn't. But like one of the side ideas I had, I need to have him do is pouring like a cup of coffee and looking at the paper.
I was thinking if there's something he could be doing in the car, and if he smokes, it like you could have him pushing in the little lighter, and then later it pops out, and he's like, it gives. I don't know. That's kind of.
Well, he does. Chino does stop at several rest stops with other men. I can't think beyond that. I can't.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any personal ideas that
no, believe me, he's been texting me his concept for that at night.
Make it surreal, Paul. Have him driving his leg hanging out the window.
Here's the new idea about the rest stop.
You know what's really sad is it's funny.
Jim, I told you never to text me again.
We drive. Well, Leanne and I will drive by, and we'll see. Like if we see a guy by himself parked at a rest stop, she's just instantly disgusted. He's guilty already. Which maybe he is. I don't know.
Well, give her a proper education sometime and drive her to a McDonald's at 2:00 in the morning and see all the guys sitting in cars shoving hamburgers in their mouth without telling their families.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably doing that at the rest stop, but it's not hamburgers. I'm just saying.
Tacos.
I know. Okay. So with that being said,
wow.
I'm going to play one more thing. It's not a clip. It's a commercial for my Patreon I did. So
I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, I did it a while back. But I do have a Patreon. You could go there and give $1 a month. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but it says I'm not in it for the money. It's just nice to have people that support. Chris also has a Patreon, correct? So go check out Christopher Runciman on Patreon. Paul, do you have a Patreon?
No.
Okay. Gary, do you have a Patreon?
No. Jeff Bezos pays my bills.
You guys are fancy rich. Fancy rich people. So anyways, check it out. I do independent animation. If this is your first time watching this, I'm an independent animator. I write, create my own films. These two guys here this guy, and this guy have done voices for me. They're creators on their own, as well as this guy. Paul.
You'll get it. I believe in you.
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's.
Anyway, so all right. Well, here's a little commercial, and then I'll come back and say goodbye. We'll hug, and then we'll go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go to Patreon. Here we go. That's Patreons.
Nice. Very nice.
So having headphones on and having that kick in, that's solid. It's a solid base.
Yeah. By the way, that song is from Revengeance, the film I did with those
such a solid song.
So appreciate it. Well, thank you guys. And going clockwise.
Hold on, before you do.
Oh yeah, good.
So you always describe yourself from your animation standpoint, but you always forget about the fact that to mention that you write and perform and record the music and all your stuff. Because I think that's a massive component to some of the success of your projects, is that those sounds are your sounds.
This machine kills fascists.
Quote Bon Jovi. Yeah.
I've said this before. It might sound sacrilegious, but I think I enjoy doing music even more than I enjoy doing drawing, or but I won't say I enjoy it more than making the films, because the films incorporate everything. They incorporate music, but I've always made up songs, always made fake bands, always done that, and I love doing that. I still, to this day, it's just as much fun to write a song as it is to create a character.
Which is really why people should check out your channel.
Oh, Fake Explosion. I did a music podcast called The Fake Explosion, like explosion but fake mixed, and it's all fake
so good. I'll leave it playing in the studio while I'm working on stuff.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Also on Spotify, if you go type my name on Spotify, you can find my music there. By the way, compliment from Deacon Burns. He said the other day he was listening. He had some friends over, and he was listening to the soundtrack to Sugar Machine, a film that I did. So if you type in Jim Lujan Sugar Machine, and the soundtrack's there. And I agree. I like that soundtrack a lot too. So I collaborated on that with him. He did a lot of the beats. So, but thank you, Chris. Thank you for pointing that out. I really do enjoy them. Yeah, if you can find the music on YouTube and Spotify and all that stuff too from all my films. It's like my secret weapon. But you guys are really my secret weapon. Yeah. No secret the way I feel about you. Weaponized our love.
Wow.
Yeah. Jeez, Joe, I don't even know what to say to you. Right
Whoa,
now.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Gary's head exploded there.
Gary's magic.
What? How long has that been a thing?
Why doesn't my heart work?
All right.
What else?
Gary's magic. Try to understand.
What happens if I do?
He's a magic man. No, that is no names will come up.
Does that not do anything?
No.
What about?
How about this one? Hold on.
What about?
Oh my no!
Whoa.
That's black magic.
Crazy. I don't understand. What?
That's wild. Look at that.
Why am I the only one who?
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta. Are there others? Now I gotta go down this rabbit hole.
Look, I made a guitar
You have
pick.
like an add-on or something, some StreamYard.
I don't know.
Hold on. This might touch the corner. It's going to the corner.
Maybe you just have that much love.
Yeah.
Maybe
the only one
maybe
that's
I'm magic. Have I been magic this whole time and didn't
The
even
magic
know?
was always in you, which is what the guy at the rest stop told you. Okay.
His name was Magic.
His name was Magic. Yeah. You can do magic. Well,
You can do anything to your heart's desire.
yes. Yes. All right. Now try to do some hands-free magic.
Yeah.
Close-up magic. There's so many ways it can go. Anyways, hey, thank you guys. Wait, are there any more
impressive.
comments?
How the hell do you do that?
I do.
Gary?
Yeah, I'm deformed. Mine's deformed.
There's infinite love. Okay, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for everybody that was in the chat. Thank people for watching this later. If you're watching this in the future,
I'm sorry.
Can you send us some stock trading tips?
Right, that would be nice.
So, all right, but I appreciate it. Stay tuned. What else? Follow me on Instagram, Patreon. Patreon, by the way, I put clips up before other people see them usually. So, thank you to all my patrons. And other than that, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end the stream with some love. Give us some love going out, Gary. Oh, Adam
sure.
tuned in just time. Adam, if you rewind it, your life will be that much better. Look at Gary's love.
Maybe Gary figured out the hearts.
All right. Everybody else wave while Gary does the hearts.
I don't understand.
Goodbye, everybody.